So in this case for Malteser International in the northeast of Nigeria, we actually work and support over 100 water sanitation committees spread all over the places where we work. So these committees are the core of our work. They do the prioritization themselves. They do the planning of projects, for example, in terms of site selection themselves. And for us, we support that. Then they are involved in aspects like raising awareness on best practices, in this case, in terms of safe water access, in terms of safe hygiene practices, in terms of ensuring that all these water sources are actually functional. They do minor repairs, they coordinate the cleanups around the water points and sanitation facilities. So they are at the core, they are the core of our work. Secondly, we also do climate change and environmental adaptation activities. For example, over 100 water systems are actually solarized systems, and solarized systems have been proved to be environmentally friendly. So we actively actually promote this. We have environmental friendly waste disposal systems, and we promote that actively. Very importantly, working with the communities and the local community, the structures that I have talked about.
Nexus, volunteer hygiene promotion. Hijira ne ya kawo ni nan gari.
A ina kuke samun ruwan sha a nan wurin?
Alhamdulillah muna samun ruwa a sola, muna da bohol, kuma ba hayaki, kuma ba wani zuba mai na generator, muna samun ruwa isasshe ruwa muna amfani da shi.
Sola yana ba ku ruwan da yake ba ku din yana isan ku biyan bukatun ku na yau da kullum anan?
Insha Allah ina shemu. Muna samu sosai ma, muna bukata da shi, muna mu wanke da kayan mu ta bangaren hygiene promotion, kuma da yaran mu da mahallin mu duk muna amfani, muna da girki da yara duka muna amfani da ruwan ya ishe mu.
Ka yi maganan wanke-wanke da girki da kuma wanke kayanku da tsafta duka gaba gida. Ya kuke samun yadda kuke kauce ma cututtuka a nan wurin?
To wato
daga ruwan da kuke samun
ruwa mai
kayan hajin da kuke yi.
Kayan hajin da muke ruwa inda gurbataccen ruwa ba mu sha, zai da mu yi treatment sa'annan ku za mu yi amfani da shi. Inda bai mu treatment ma zai kawo mana cutar na cholera kamar typhoid haka. Sai da mu zuba chlorine sa'annan mu yi amfani da shi.
I think peace peace building is mainstreamed and specifically conflict-sensitive approach is mainstreamed in all ways of work in our WASH GBV program. For example, we actually do a lot of awareness around peaceful coexistence, especially IDPs, host communities, refugees, but also coexisting along the gender, peaceful coexistence across the gender spectrum. So this is one of the things we do. Two, the structures I have just talked about, for example, the WASH committees, they do a lot of work in terms of promoting peaceful coexistence. They do conflict resolution at water sources, they do awareness, they do crowd control, they ensure that there is equitable access to WASH services, i.e. nobody should be discriminated against. So they oversee all this.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ai sulu.
Amma Bukhari ya dina promotion.
Ai cida nala.
Cida ni incie ningidie.
Hygiene promotion.
Hygiene promotion.
Duk kullum.
Yo gundara ciski. Kamal wala sadina ai shira manane.
A kan
Anwa alal misabo kare kace kama da nalo ala ya ai so jini.
Ilan dukula mena tan kewas.
sulu sadin wai.
Sulu sadin.
Sai fara da shi.
Wai. Idan kalan lan kewas misalin da bas
And you're talking about over 100 locations where all these committees are actually working proactively. They do, they liaise with the zonal host community local governments to ensure that there is no conflict in terms of, for example, site selection where the water points should be, but also ongoing peace enhancement measures and also safety. All sorts of things, including, for example, prevention of abuse, sexual exploitation and abuse, which normally happens in those kinds of situations, as you have crowds, people on water points who can be taken advantage of. So it is very, very mainstream to that extent. But we bring it up to the national level in terms of coordination, where we are actually part of the peace building forum, which has been created recently. We are an active partner in there, where we draw learning from our implementation into the coordination mechanism. Okay, so it goes back to the earlier points around the humanitarian development nexus. So one of the key elements to achieve that is to ensure that you actually create an environment as an international response program that actually allows the evolution or development of local institutions in the planning and implementation of projects.